building your stockpile on a budget. So most people think that being a prepper is like crazy, you're nuts, it's chaotic. Why would you want to do that? It's a waste of time. Why would you need that? So here's the myth though, is that people think that it's too expensive to be a prepper. When the truth is, you can actually allocate $5 to $10 a week to build your stockpile. But putting up food in your pantry, being ready for when crap hits the fan, when there's a power grid failure, a disaster, a storm, a blizzard, knowing you have that food in your pantry ready for your family is so much a peace of mind. Even if you never had to use it, you create your stockpile by the food that you want to eat. So you don't want to just buy food to have food, for goodness sakes. Like, you want to make sure that you're buying food that you are going to enjoy. All right. So I didn't get where I'm at overnight. I've been born and raised this way. So I've lived 55 years of my life as a prepper, as a homesteader, not even knowing for years and years actually what I was doing because it was such a natural part of my life. So there's actually 5 benefits of building your stockpile over time. All right, so number 1, it enables you to do more with less money. So this allows you to take advantage of building your stockpile off of sales, off of coupons, even doing both of those, right? And maybe possibly like being bought in bulk and then sealing things into smaller packages. Number 2 is that you learn the process of actually managing your stockpile. All right. So imagine like if somebody dropped off a pallet on your front door of 3 months worth of food, would you actually like know what to do with all of it? Right. Like it would put you into scrambling, and we don't want that. Number 3 is that you can buy a little each week and it can have a huge impact over time. So, and again, that's by allocating, $5 to $10 a week, taking advantage of sales, taking advantage of promos and coupons and bulk buying. All right. Number 4 is then you can build meals off of what you are buying. And I'll show you a few things that I recommend doing, and just to give you a sample of what that looks like. All right. And then number 5 is that you can gradually like build your storage areas up, right? Like if this was all dropped off on your front porch at one time, you'd be like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all of this stuff, right? So it allows you to gradually build up all of these things, and so that you're not in scrambling and chaos and the madness of it all. So like I said, imagine if you had somebody drop off a 3-month pallet of food at your front door, like you would be scrambling. You wouldn't even know what meals that you were going to make out of it. So the number 1 roadblock typically for people to want to build up their stockpile or to prep is actually money. All right. People say, oh, it's too expensive. And so here I'm going to share with you, let's change the way that you think about that. All right. So let's talk about like finances and budget to be able to favor your prepping, so that if crap hit the fan, sorry, I try not to say that word, but if crap hit the fan, you know that you had your family's back, right? You don't want you starving. You don't want your spouse starving. You don't want your significant other starving, your children starving, right? Like, and if crap hits the fan and you don't have any supplies, then you're going to be leaving your safe area in your home to go out into dangerous lines, long lines, waiting for supplies to come to you, putting yourself in danger, your family in danger, and you don't need to do that. So you can start to build your stockpile slowly. You don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars and have it all. Now, if you can afford to do that, great. Most people can't. All right. So let's talk about things that you can look at financially to help you in your prepping. All right. In your stockpiling of your food pantry. So what about coffee? Are you going through, expensive coffee places, in particular like Starbucks, spending $8 on a coffee a day? Like 8 times 5, that's $40 a week, right? Can you cut back on that? What about eating out? Just through a drive-through for probably a family of 4 is probably easily $60. Going into a restaurant, probably easily $150. What about getting rid of some of your subscriptions, maybe to your TV channels like Netflix? Oh, they're probably going to kick me off here, right? Magazines, food boxes, like any kind of those subscriptions that you get on a monthly basis. What about decreasing vacations? Maybe you take 1 year and you dedicate your vacation money to prepping and getting supplies and survival things and all of the first aid supplies, all of those things that you need to have. What about when you make something for supper that you divvy up those portions so you're not throwing it in the trash? Some people love leftovers, some people hate leftovers. So find meals that are freezable, and then when you make the meal, great, be done and over with it. Maybe you have it one more time that week, I don't know, but you freeze up those portions so you're not throwing that food in the trash, okay? What about doing some sort of side hustle, making some extra cash, whether it's network marketing, social selling, digital marketing, going door to door, whatever those things are, bringing in some extra cash to dedicate to your prepping skills, all right? How about yard sales? What about downsizing, becoming more minimalistic, getting rid of crap that you don't need, don't use, and sell it for a little bit of money? Use that money towards your prepping, all right? And don't buy crap foods, all right? So are you buying sodas and candy bars and, you know, TV dinners and alcohol and like all of the things that you don't need, chips, like stuff that is really bad for you? Use that money to move it towards your prepping skills, all right? Also, take advantage of your sales that are going on in your local stores. Take advantage of your coupons, and also take advantage of your bulk buying, all right? Typically, you buy things in 2 or 4 or 6 or 8, 10, 12, whatever, you're going to get a cheaper deal. One thing that I do love about the Walmart app is that when I go in there, I can see the price per things if I bought it in 2 or 4 or 8 or whatever. But so I don't have warehouses where I live. So if you have Sam's Club or Costco, those kind of bulk places that you can purchase things, you can usually get a way better price on things. So take advantage of that. And I want to share with you like some really super simple things that you can add to your pantry that are shelf stable, that whether you're prepping or whether it's something you want to eat because you don't feel good or you had surprise guests show up, right? That you always have a pantry of supplies. So super simple things, you guys, from the dollar store, all right? This isn't very great for you by any means, but it's something to have, especially if you don't feel good, right? Chicken kind of soup. You can add a can of chicken in that, right? If you buy this from Walmart, you get a cheaper price if you buy it in 2, but of course you get an even better price if you buy it in a 4-pack, all right? Also from the dollar store, these packs of pasta sides from Knorr, all right? You can, this in particular is fettuccine, Parmesan noodles. Again, it depends how many you have in your family. If you have 2, you would be 1 bag. 4, you'd do 2 bags. Again, add in a can of chicken to it. You could add in peas or carrots, broccoli, anything like that as well to get you some vegetables. Dollar store, again, this veggie fried rice. You could add a meat to that as well, right? And make another meal out of that. This would probably be for a family of 2 though. So you got to take in consideration how many people you're feeding, all right? Another thing that I love from the dollar store, freeze-dried apples, freeze-dried strawberries, to give you a variety in what you're eating in your diet. Because what you don't want to have happen is be prepping, storing all of this food, and it's like, gross, I don't want to eat it. It was cheap, but I don't want to eat it. Oh, I'll eat it if I'm starving, which that's all true, right? But the goal of prepping isn't just about stockpiling. It's about rotating through that stock as it's your everyday life and it's everyday food that you are using, okay? So those are just some real quick, easy meals and things that I keep on hand at all times. And so, so I'm going to, for the next video I'm going to be doing, so you're going to want to keep your eyes out on that. I'm going to do a video where, on the items that you should focus on for your weekly shopping list to actually build your stockpile, all right? So if you enjoyed all of this, I have all kinds of information on my channel. This is really what I'm focusing in on. This is what God is telling me that I'm supposed to do, so I'm being obedient and doing that. But if you want to go deeper, next week, a week from tomorrow, January the 28th, I'm kicking off a 5-week workshop, and it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to do it. And it's 5 weeks, and it's called called Family Preparedness 101, Survival Skills for Moms, but you don't just have to be a mom, you can be a woman as well. And that's kicking off January the 28th. So I'm going to be going over like water calculation, water collection, water storage, food calculation, food collection, food storage, communications, pet preparedness, hygiene, sanitation. What are you going to do when there's no water to go to the bathroom, right? First aid, holistic solutions. So we're going to be doing some DIYs in this as well. And so if you want to enroll in that, I'm only taking 10 students, then drop Prepper down below. I'll send you the information and the link to enroll in that. Again, that kicks off January the 28th. And so I have been preparing that workshop since August, all right? I had no idea how much knowledge I had in my brain till I started getting this out on paper, and it's just, honestly, it's just the basics, all right, of getting you set up to get started into your prepping journey and having the survival skills that you need, all right? So be sure to hit that follow button if you like these tips, tricks, and hacks. And if we have never met, I'm Jen Jones, and I help women thrive at home with health, wealth, prepping, and homesteading. So be sure to hit that follow button. If you want more information on the workshop that I'm doing, it kicks off next week. It's a 5-week workshop. Then drop Prepper down below. And then be on the lookout for my next video on the shopping list that you need to go to the store every week to build towards your prepping pantry. All right, with that, you guys have a blessed day. Bye-bye.